Okay, this video is about going home with your partial winnings during a losing session. That's the session is another topic that we're doing a video on, which is extremely important because casino visits are pretty much in sessions. And what that means is that the session starts and the session ends. You have to make a decision. Do you want to do another session? Do you want to end that casino visit and go home? Have you made enough for today, or have you lost enough for today? And so this is just as important, but the topic that we're talking about today is extremely important. Because certain things, like we said, now you talk to any kind of training tutorial people, and they'll tell you the hardest thing is not making money in the casino, but going home with your winnings. Because the casinos are designed, it's almost like they hypnotize you. You can't leave, you can't even find the exit. A lot of times. There's a couple of casinos, I can never find the exit. And it's driving me crazy. I've been there for how many years and I still can't find the exit. I have to look for certain landmarks. And it's not that big. It's just that they're designed that way. So you got a problem. And this problem is resolved by, only time will help you, and constant practice, to develop the habit. Okay, so because what happens is that during the casino visit, every casino visit is different. Okay, and after you've been applying all these principles, you still get in there and says, "Wait, here's my situation now. What do I do now? This has never happened to me, and this is going to keep happening to you." You're going to get into a situation where you've won just a little bit, and you're not sure if you should keep playing. Worse than that is when you just walk in a casino and you win $100, and your goal is just to go there for an hour and win $100 a day. And you're like, I just drove an hour, and I can't turn around and go home. That's another scenario. And sometimes I'll walk to the casino and my slot machine goal daily is 100. If I win $100, I'm done with slot machines. And then I walk over to the craps table, And then there's been days I walk in, and within a few minutes, I put $20 or $100 into a machine, and bang, I get a huge bonus. And I make $350. And I'm thinking, $350 for a few minutes is all I need. Now, if I stay here, if I go to the craps table, who knows what's going to happen? And if I stay with the slots and keep playing, if I have $350, let's say $320. Okay, sure, I'll play the $20. But the moment it gets to the 300 level, and this is something you've got to do, if you don't do it, you're gonna struggle. So yeah, I'll risk $20 to see if I get another bonus. But the moment it reaches the 300 limit, which is what I have set, I'm cashing out. Okay. So I don't care what that machine does, because these machines are the way the display is. It's also another casino design. They make you think they give you these signals. And sometimes they could be that, slot machines have a terminology they use, line up. It could be that the machine is lining up, for another bonus, and you see like triples of a certain symbol. So that means you're going to get another bonus. But that's not necessarily what's going to happen, right? So I've seen up to 5 similar symbols on the screen. But if it doesn't land on the 5, all I needed was 3, right? But so there's false stuff too. And if I'm at $320 and I keep seeing these things, sure, I'll risk another $20 because I think it might line up. But I'm not going to risk my whole $300 winnings. Let somebody else take it. I got my $300 for the day. I'm going home, man, because an hour drive for $300 to me is fine. I like to make more. I like to do about $500 to $700 a day. But sometimes you get this feeling that this is it. I think I should go home and just go home. Just start running because things are gonna happen. Don't go to the restroom. Don't go to the cafeteria. Don't go anywhere. Just go straight home. That's gonna be your challenge. So, but the topic today is partial winnings on a losing day. And you know what that's like when you've been in a casino and you do nothing but lose. Okay, everything you touch, you just lose. Okay, and you have your daily budget. I think for local casino, I usually bring $1,000 or $2,000 with me. But if I lose $300 or $400, that's my limit. Because again, I'm not a traveling MIT card counting group, where I can make $5,000 or $7,000 in one day. So $400 I can recover, okay. But if I just keep going losing and losing, it gets up to $1,000 or $2,000. Well, then that means I either have to get it all back in one day, which means what? I have to go to a blackjack table and start counting cards. And then I might lose my casino or they might kick me out. Or I may have to, I don't know, the craps table is not as dependable as a blackjack table. So, I might have it. So really my only solution is blackjack. And that's one thing I don't want to play. Or even Spanish 21, or even Baccarat. I don't want to play in that casino. So, if I can recover my $1,000 or $1,500 that I lose in one day, then that means it's going to take me 3 days of winning just to recover what I lost. Why? Just set a loss limit of, say, okay, I'm never ever going to lose more than $400 in one day. If I lose $400, I'm going to get in my car and leave and try another day. I think that's the best way to do this. Because, $400 is easy to regain. But $700, $1,000, $1,500, I'm not saying it's hard to regain. But to regain it, you're going to be on the spotlight. You go, oh, you got $700. Oh, wow. And I hate those dealers that do that. So, oh, wow, you're doing good today. That means they're going to kick you out. There's no such thing as a compliment from a casino employee. A compliment is just so the pit bosses, they get their attention. So, hey, this guy is either counting cards or he's cheating or something, because they hate winners with passion. Not just as a casino and as a business, but individually they get jealous. They're on minimum wage. And if they see somebody for $1,000, $3,000, $4,000, drives them crazy, And you have to understand that, So here's the situation. I'm losing and losing. Now I've lost 200. And I've lost 300 now. Okay, now it's getting touchy, right? So I look at my wallet and it looks like I've got another $100, just my limit, and I'm not going to spend any more today. And then things just suddenly, and that happens in casinos all the time, things suddenly turn around. All of a sudden I'm playing a craps table, or I decide that I'm not going to play craps. I walk over to a machine and put my 100 in there, and bang, I hit a bonus, and I make $200. Okay, so now I have, let's say I'll just make $100 more. Okay, so I lost 300, right? And well, that's not a good example. Let's say I lost almost 400. Let's say I lost $350. Okay, and I put my $100 into a machine, so now, or $50 left, right? My budget for the day is 400. I lost 350 on the craps table, and I decided to take my last $50 and put it into the machine, see if a machine that I know that always pays me, okay? And I almost lose that entire $50, right? And that's happened too. And on the very last $5 that I have left, bang, I hit a bonus round, and on that bonus round, I make 150 or $200. So now I gotta make a decision. Okay, so I didn't lose 400 now, did I? I only lost 200. Now I have to decide: should I stay here and regain the other 200, which is, in a way, it's called chasing the buck, man. If you're having such a hard time, what makes you think that you're going to go back and all of a sudden do great? You could, but it's a risk. The point is, it's always good to leave the casino with money. You never ever want to walk out of there broke. It's just it just psychologically, it's a lot of pressure. So if don't try to recover all your losses. If you have a partial recovery, please check out. Don't even think about it. Just check out. Every time that happens, you say, well, I lost 400, but then I made another 100, so actually I lost 300. So should I go home with $100, or should I keep trying to get my money back? Go home. But first year, the decision is fine. It's predetermined. Please do this. Take the $100, cash it out, go home. Okay. Why? Well, because when you get into your second year and third year, now you got a big bankroll, right? And then let's say you go to 2 casinos per day, and you spread about $2,000-$3,000 between these casinos. So maybe you go to 3 a day, Now, if you're having a bad day, and you lose $2,000 or something, that's a major hit. I don't care, if your bankroll is $100,000 or $200,000. $2,000 is still a big hit for a local player. If you're a traveling person, you can lose $20,000. Who cares? Because you're gonna get it right back, But not a local player. To get your money, $2,000 back locally, could be an issue. But it's just that driving home, you go, oh man, I just lost $2,000. $300-$400, who cares? $2,000, that's something to cry about, So the point is, when you get to that level, with the big bankroll figures and big loss figures, you need to have this habit developed already. You took a year to develop this habit of going home with your partial winnings. If you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day. And when things suddenly turn, okay, when you're new, I would not count on that, I would just go home and develop the habit so that in the second year, you're still not a major advantage player. You're still kind of you went from a rookie to a junior. You're not a senior player yet, okay? So you still can't tell if things are turning around. The coin toss we're talking about. Coin toss is with all games that we teach here. The slot machines, you're tossing a coin. Some days you want heads because the heads is a winner, tails is a loser. You want tails every day. But if you toss a coin every day, you seriously think that you're going to get heads every day? Is that really statistically and mathematically, is that really possible? Of course not. So it's going to happen. You're going to suddenly go to a streak. Same with video poker, everything else. Okay, so it's going to happen. So your first year, best thing to do is develop that habit of going home with just some money. And you'll be so happy when you get there. Okay, I only lost so much. Rather than I lost my entire budget for the day. The second year, I would say, I'd still be careful. But once you become a senior player, and that's different because you can tell when things are going your way, and put it this way, when you become a senior player, you probably have $500,000 in a bankroll, in the form of a bankroll. And $2,000 is a kind of a joke. Just, who cares? If you feel like you want to play, you can afford it. But even if you have 100,000, you really can't afford to lose 2,000. Because, again, to try to recover, it's going to take you 3 days locally. And 3 days is a heavy hit for advantage players. 3 days of driving, an hour over, an hour back, making money, and then realize you didn't make any profit. You're just paying back your losses. To me, it's a heavy hit, and I just don't think it's a good idea, So, but to get there, you need to develop the habit. Okay? So this is when you're having a bad day, right? And you get lucky and you get up. And suddenly you get, 20-30% of your losses back. Or even 40% or so. Or even 50%. I would cut the losses, grab the profit you got, go home the first year. Keep going home with money. Don't think you're going to get your money back. Because usually you don't. You don't have the skills yet to do that. Okay? On the days that you're winning, it doesn't matter if you win within the first 20 seconds of walking in a casino. If your goal is to go to a casino 2 hours a day and make $200-300 a day, the moment you get $250, get back in your car and go home. Okay? Don't think it's your day. It doesn't mean nothing, just because you want something. It means nothing. Unless we have training program for slot machines for this reason. We can kind of show you when the machine is giving you indications that it's going to pay and pay and pay and pay. Okay. Then we also show you when the machine is playing games with you. It's just trying to get that money back. Okay, so these are some things you're going to have to go through training. But especially when you're new and you meet your daily goal, get back in your car, man. Get out of that casino. Don't go wash your hands. Don't even use the restroom. Don't get coffee. Don't drink beer. Nothing. If you have to go to the restroom, go to the closest gas station. Get some gas and use the restroom. Because they will lure you in, man. Some of those lights and the noises, people hitting jackpots. Oh, man. You're going to lose that money right back, And it's the same, so we talked about gaining your losses, right? We talked about profits, daily profits that meet your goal. Then there's some days that are going to be break-even day. You didn't lose anything, you didn't win anything, and you go, this is just going nowhere today. Get back in your car and leave. $10 is not worth risking $400. Pay the $10 for gas and go home. And then you have complete loss days where you just lose your entire 400. Don't reach in your wallet and get another 100. Don't do that. Not the first year, not even the second year. Just call it a loss day, go home, and try to figure out what happened. I mean, if this is developing a habit to do this, will take you several months. Some people are really sharp. It took me a year, 2 years, And I kept making mistakes and kept getting stupid and keep playing and lost, Sometimes I go in there and win $800-900 and lose almost all of it. God, it was so frustrating. If I just went home every night like that, I would have $50,000 bankroll in no time. But no, it's not that I'm stupid. It's not that. It's just called experience, and it's called really willpower. and developing a habit. And you need to make notes for yourself on on your phone, whatever, regarding these four situations. We got break even, we got profit day, we got loss day, and we got recovery day. And those days, your first year, get out, get out of that casino before things turn really bad. Okay? This is this is not going to be something you're going to pick up right away, but it's one of the most important part of the casino trip. And thank you for watching, and we'll continue on this. And have a good day.